Fellas, another week. You know how we start the podcast off. Another cheers. But this time a very special cheers. We're still Vegas strong. 4-year anniversary of the October 1st shootings, the massacre. So let's get into that a little bit. Let's talk about it.
Cheers, boys.
Yes,
Cheers.
Oh, that was good. Actually tastes good.
Wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, well.
Where were you when it was going down?
It's crazy. I was actually on the strip. I was headed to Town Square. And the thing I realized...
that's right by there, too.
Yeah. So the thing I realized when I was on the strip and I was driving, and I saw the cars in front of me pull over. I saw a cop car come, flying down. I was like, okay.
Another day in Vegas.
Going on. Then I saw another one. Then I saw another one. Then I saw another. Yeah, it kept coming. I was like, oh, shit. Like, what is going on?
Right.
It was crazy because I saw at least 40 cop cars go by me. And everybody's off to the side. So I'm like...
So you know it's something big going on.
I was like, yo, what the hell?
Yeah, they're just not going to do a little domestic violence type thing. You know what I mean?
What's going on? So I ended up still going to Town Square because I had a meeting with some coworkers. And I was seeing what's going on. I was like, hey, did you see all them cop cars? And they're like, yeah, it was a shooting, at one of the casinos. And what was crazy about it, which I'll go into what I feel happened, at Town Square, this is right next to Blue Martini and all that stuff. Yeah. The people there
right up Las Vegas
had came from different casinos. And because I was seeing how everybody was acting different. They were already spooked. And they were like, there was a couple people that were like, we just left MGM or one of the casinos, right. Flamingo. There was a shooter in there. They let off some rounds in there, like we heard them. And I'm like, what? And then there was another group that said there was another shooting in a casino. So it was like multiple casinos that there were shooters in from people that physically were there and said that. So I was like, what the fuck? So I'm like, okay, we're going to cancel this meeting and I'm going to go home. So yeah, I ended up leaving that night, but just hearing the people say that, and I didn't, it was a country concert. So it really ran. I didn't even know what was going on.
Right.
Honestly. And we actually had friends there too. And later to find out I had even more people that I knew there.
I think, I want to say Memphis was working at Mandalay Bay. Because he was, I was in South Carolina when it happened. So I'm looking on TV like, what's going on
in my own city right now, right? Because no one knew at that point.
Right.
You know what I mean? No one knew. Like you said, like different shootings in different hotels, like it wasn't, people heard it but didn't know where it was coming from. You know
so
what I mean?
at Town Square, you're like, well, what's gonna happen here?
Yeah,
type thing. So
and Town Square, so Mandalay Bay is at the end, the south end of the strip,
correct?
Which is right closer to Town Square. Where
and I didn't hear a sound.
No shit.
Didn't hear a sound. And I was there the entire I think from the beginning of it, maybe in the middle. But yeah, thank God my security company didn't do that event.
That'd have been...
But a guy my dad hired did get killed that day.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
He hired him. Yep.
Rest in paradise.
Rest in peace. Yeah, man. Shout out to him, to his family.
Yeah.
Where you at?
For me, no, I wasn't out here yet. Okay. Actually, I want to say at least a week or 2 weeks before that, I was at the Life is Beautiful festival. And I came back and, people were hitting me up like, you good? And I'm like, yeah, like I'm fine. But on the news, they stated that he was supposed to shoot up Life is Beautiful when what's his name? With the 3 in his hat? Chance the Rapper.
No problem. Yeah, Chance the Rapper.
So he was supposed to shoot up. So like where the stage was set up, it was main stage. And obviously everyone goes to see Chance the Rapper. It was when he was big. This was, 4 years ago. Yeah. And there was this hotel right here. Like I'm talking about like hotel, street, stage. You know what I mean? Like it was all right there. Like it could have been a lot worse. And so he tried to book a room there. All the rooms were filled. Obviously Life is Beautiful was in town. You know what I mean? Right. So all the rooms were filled up. So he didn't get a room there. So it was on the news saying that he was supposed to shoot up Life is Beautiful during that set. Like we were all there. Like no one knows what the hell's going on, but it was all on the news that he was supposed to shoot up Chance the Rapper set. So he didn't book the room. So the next week later, he was like, all right, cool. Like I'll, obviously, what's the next festival? I'll do this country concert. You know what I mean?
That was the next one in line?
Yeah,
Oh,
in Vegas.
interesting.
So I have my own type of way I feel about like how this all went down.
Likewise.
I don't think the person that they said did it personally. And the way I look at it is, it was a what's that called when someone has a bunch of guns and then gives them to another person? Was that
Arms dealer.
Arms dealer, correct. So I think it was an arms deal gone bad.
I'm sorry, I'm smart.
Don't know how you know that, but Google
If I could
has a
sell
lot of
guns, I
information.
would.
I think it was an arms deal gone bad, and this is what my boy Abel said. You guys know Abel. There was an arms deal gone bad, and he didn't like the quote unquote, like he did not quote unquote, like he didn't like the number that they gave to them, or he didn't, vice versa, whatever. And they shot him, and now they're like, well, shit. Now we got to make this look like cover up, because if someone comes in there and there's freaking guns hanging out, like, why is one person have that many guns and he only shot off 2 guns or some shit like that?
Well, I mean, he got plenty of rounds off. But my thing about it.
Why are you going from?
Huh?
Go ahead.
Well, my thing about it is, for one thing, this man was not physically fit, so he had help. If you had a bellman, take that up. It is. And then on the floor he's on, it's like a special exception floor type thing.
Yeah, it's like executive suite type shit.
Right. So that's just weird already.
Why would one man go from one window to another window?
Different angles.
I get it, but like, well, if I was a mass shooter, I'm going to shoot out of one angle.
No, I mean, to get more
2?
rounds off. If you set one gun up, was it 2 different guns? You set one gun up this one, it was a tripod.
He's definitely had a tripod on it.
Set up this one, I can hurry up and get to this one and get some more rounds off. But biggest thing, this man is not physically fit. It's so many guns. I believe he was shot on the, if they're saying it was suicide.
Correct.
He was shot on the right side, I believe. When I looked at it, a long time ago, whatever, he's left-handed. Or it was vice versa, one of those.
Right.
It was the opposite of what hand he was.
Right.
So for execution, you're not going to use your offhand.
Right.
Just like with the shooting, the Columbine shooting.
Right.
How they said, what you guys remember as both of them shot themselves, right?
Correct.
No. One of the other killers shot the other one. He killed him and then killed himself. When you look at the bodies, how they're laying, that's how you line it up and you can see. Like people don't just shoot themselves like it's a natural instinct. I'm going to use my dominant hand.
Right.
I'm going to make sure that I shoot in a spot that I think is going to.
And especially if the spray of the blood and all that stuff, if it goes, you know what I mean, like.
And you don't fall. It's crazy, but like I said, yeah, for him to do that, it was very odd and very strategic. And I match it up with things like the JFK.
The
I don't know if you've
assassination.
ever looked at that.
The assassination of JFK.
That's just stupidity.
There's no
to
way
think
in
that there's a fucking magic bullet.
Yeah.
No, like have you ever looked at it? Like one bullet pierced 2 people in 7 different spots. So you're saying one bullet went through Kennedy's shoulder, the front guy's shoulder, wrist, forearm, wrist, and leg, and it ended up in his leg. Full bullet, the full fucking
There's
bullet.
no way in hell.
What kind? It's just stupidity.
Unless you're made of metal, it's
and
not
his head
ricocheting off your
exploded,
body.
dog. Like, come on. It's just stuff like that where people mislead you and they show you different things. It's a magician.
Yeah.
He shows you one thing while he's doing another.
Right.
To fool you. It's an illusion, a facade. And I feel that that's the same thing, and it's just sad because stuff you looked up, I've heard it was like an arms deal as well. And he was an undercover agent.
Correct.
And that it went bad.
Why does
Like
one
you
man
said.
have like 50 plus guns? For what reason?
I mean, there's multiple reasons.
Yeah, I get it.
You
Yeah,
know,
but
there's
I'm just saying, like,
collectors and things like that.
You just randomly walk into a hotel with
but
50
you
plus
don't
guns?
go into a hotel with your collector's items. That's weird. And it's just, it seems like they're trying to play us to be stupid.
Right.
Or attempting to play us to be stupid, just like the JFK thing that they just, made somebody the patsy. Have you ever heard that term? They used that back then with the guy they labeled that shot Kennedy.
It's kind of like the Mark Wahlberg movie Shooter. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Is that the one where he was placed as the shooter, but it wasn't the shooter, right? Yeah.
But okay, so going back to you being at Life is Beautiful, do you guys think if it did happen at Life is Beautiful, he would have got more casualties? Because Life is Beautiful is very packed.
The way the room that he was supposed to be in, 100%. Like I'm talking about, it was hotel, a little bit of street, and then the festival.
Right.
Like he would have got way more people.
And it's harder to
100%.
Run.
Yeah.
That many people crowded.
Would he have been closer?
Way closer. Like I'm talking about, dude, the hotel, the street that because Life is Beautiful was downtown.
Yeah.
So it's the hotel, the street right there, and then right across that, it's just a parking lot.
Aren't as tall as
Dude, he would have gotten way more people.
But they would have got to him quicker too, supposedly, because you can pinpoint that.
Yeah.
The Mandalay Bay, he was from all the videos and stuff. It's so crazy because there was something flashing at the bottom floor, there was something flashing in the middle, something.
And that's what
flashing
people said.
at the
There was
top.
people shooting at the festival itself. It wasn't just up there. There were people saw flashes down there.
People saw somebody shooting on the floor too, like they're at the it's crazy. And I knew people that were there, and they said the same thing. Like there was somebody down there.
Yeah, there was 100%
shooting. So I don't know. It's crazy. It's just an unfortunate event, and I've been in a shooting firsthand. Like I was telling you earlier, I was part of the worst school on campus shooting, the second worst, because it was Columbine, then it was I went to Duquesne.
Yeah,
and that was the second worst on campus shooting. Guy shot. We were at a Black Student Union party, and this girl knew everybody on the team. She started naming off everybody. So one dude put his arm around her.
Oh, that's what I get.
Right. And then the guy was like, "Hey, I know he ain't got his arm around my girl." And we all looked, and this the whole basketball team, bro.
But you was on the basketball team, huh?
Shut up. And the guy.
I'm trying to ask. You know what I'm saying?
We had an African dude that was on our team, 6'8", 285, big dude.
Damn.
I guess he had never heard of guns, but the guy pulled out a gun. So everybody's like, oh, okay, we're good. Because the guys were like 5'2". They were in high school. They shouldn't even have been there. And he started walking towards them. So you see a 6'8" guy, 285, and you're 5'2". Yeah, you're going to probably pull out a gun.
Right.
He pulled out a gun. He kept walking towards him. And that dude just started firing. And he had like a revolver, dog. He was shooting, like skipping. And I don't know how he didn't hit him. But he shot.
Didn't even hit him?
I mean, if you never shot before.
But he hit the.
You gotta think about recoil, grip.
I was in between 6'5" and 6'6".
So you just got behind everybody.
No, both of them got hit, and I was in the middle. I didn't get hit. I dove on the ground. I had forces on. I dove on the ground. I was pissed because I thought he was just firing in the air. So I was like, man, this motherfucker got me dirty and shit. Man, he waited till we got up and started firing again. Yeah, I dove back on the ground like, damn. And then that's when we realized who was hit and things like that. But it was crazy. Damn. And then Virginia Tech happened like a week later.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was like definitely topped ours.
Duquesne, okay. So Duquesne was what? Number 3? Worst?
2. I guess at that point, but now there's been so many,
That's
know.
True. That's true.
People are shooting up elementaries.
What was that one at elementary school?
I can't remember. That was crazy. It was like the principal's son or something like that.
I don't
something
know.
crazy.
It was I should remember the name.
So I've never been a part of a mass shooting like that at a school. Obviously, I've been shot at.
House parties.
That and just
Boy.
Southern California. Well, I mean,
yeah, but I mean,
you've been shot at.
You're younger, so when you went to parties like house parties in high school, did they all get shot up?
no.
Damn.
Project X.
Yours?
No, none of my. I mean,
Absolutely. Ours got shot up. It was like basically it was like, well, how long can we be there before it gets shot up?
Shooter too, so it's like, oh, did it again. Like,
Yeah.
we going to the trunk. We time to leave.
I mean, I don't know.
Yep.
I mean, that might have been like a different. I'm not saying different era. You guys aren't like that old. You know what I'm saying?
You were
But
in
like,
San Diego, huh?
yeah, but I mean, like, it wasn't like
But there's-
They
it
are
wasn't
cooler
like that.
out there.
No.
San Diego ain't.
I know,
It's a
yeah.
nice city, but it ain't nothing like.
I know some people from San Diego that are like,
No, it's thug
Every-
in the different parts. You know what I'm saying?
Every
But it
state
wasn't
has
like
the
that
bad
though.
Area.
there's a hit in every city, honestly. But it's crazy because my oldest nephew now goes to my high school, which I'm not going to say the name of because this could or could not be true. But he told me he doesn't really talk to many people much. Like he'll tell me, hey, what's up? This happened at school, this and that, whatever.
Right.
He said, man, it's been crazy because this is first year in high school. He said it's been crazy because people are being like kicked out of school and arrested. Like,
where was this high school? Sorry, where was it at?
At the high school. I'm not gonna say the name.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
But people are being kicked out of high school every week because they're bringing guns and trying to shoot up the place and this is coming off of quarantine. This is coming off of COVID. So it's like, now do people not have, or do kids not have the social skills to be on? Like just get mad quicker and want to shoot things up, or
well, they're softer. Your generation is soft, and you resort to. Well, no, that's fact. Like
I don't think that's a fact.
I mean,
absolutely, it's fact. Kids, think about it. Kids don't go outside as much now.
That doesn't mean you're soft.
They don't play. Yeah, they're soft because you're. Yes, absolutely, it means you're soft because you're not getting out and getting an experience of being physical.
I disagree.
No.
So okay, compare it to a kid that plays games all day, doesn't go outside, to a kid that goes outside, plays kickball, wall ball, tag, all that shit. That person that goes outside and experiences that shit where he falls down, gets the scratches. I mean, think about it. Look at your legs. Do you have scratches all over your legs?
Are you saying the difference is if a kid plays games by himself versus that kid can go outside and play kickball by himself? What are you trying to say? Like, is it them being by themselves?
That's what I'm saying. Not doing it.
The same kid that doesn't go outside and play basketball, kickball, wall ball, all this other stuff could still go and train jiu-jitsu or karate or whatever avenue.
You guys are adding to it. This kid is not doing. These kids are not doing that though. They're not. Kids that go and do jujitsu and all that stuff and box and things like that, they don't just sit in the house and play games all day.
You cannot speak for every kid.
Majority of them do not just sit there and play games. They're active. That's being active and that's going out.
You're saying this generation is
it's factual that they are softer. You can tell because there weren't as many shootings and things like that.
Define soft then.
Soft is being I'm saying not physically soft, but that is a part of it. Yeah. But mentally they are soft and weak. Now we're pushing people to embrace their inner self and all this change your sex, that weird shit too. At that age, that's not something that a kid knows about.
But that was also back in the day when things were a lot different than they are nowadays.
A lot different.
But what? That's
like I said, you guys call me young and stuff like that. But like, what I wanted as a kid, all I did was go outside. You know what I'm saying? Now kids nowadays are always playing on their iPad and their and their tablet and stuff like that, and like they're not learning what the outside world is about.
No, it's because it's so crazy outside. You don't really want to let your kid outside because people are shooting up schools.
I get it, and then exactly my point. And then so you shelter these kids to the point where they don't even know what the outside world is or friends or anything like that. And then I'm not saying that's why they're doing these things. It could be other scenarios as well. I'm saying you can't shelter your kid to the point where I'm not going to let them do anything. You have to let them expand a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
It has to be controlled expansion.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. It's softer now because now kids think it's just cool. Like parents just allow it. A lot of parents just allow them to, because it doesn't take time from you. It's easy to let my son just play on the tablet all day because then he doesn't bother me. He doesn't ask me dumbass questions all day.
Oh, while you're doing work or whatever. You know what I mean?
But if you don't take that time to take them out and do stuff with them, like it is different. It's 100% different because I knew all the kids and the parents knew everybody in my neighborhood.
Correct. Yeah, same.
I could be at somebody's house and they would know that person's first and last name, who it was, and where I was at.
Right.
And we all knew each other. We all hung out every day till the street lights came on and you took your ass home or you got that ass whooped.
Right.
But now it's different. Like I wouldn't let my son go outside and just play without me being able to see his ass the entire time.
Yeah.
Because people are weirdos now and they want to kidnap kids and things.
Right.
I'm not saying that wasn't happening before, but it's happening at a larger rate now.
And it's also more accessible to know about it now too because of social media and news. And
absolutely. Social media has increased that.
But to the original point, that doesn't make this generation soft.
Yeah, because okay, answer this. How many fights did you see at your school? Fist fights.
Oh, it was every day.
Right. How many fist fights did you see?
Sometimes physically at fist fight, it was like a math book,
right.
Physically at the school, not that many, but we would go to the park right down the street, go deep in the park, and that's where it would happen. You know what I'm saying? Like we knew that was going on. I mean, I wouldn't say every day, but it would happen you know, more often. I wouldn't say more often. I wouldn't even say more often than not. It would happen, but it wasn't like a day-to-day thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just like if some shit arised, it was what it is.
Too in the school, but like now, that shit don't happen as much.
Right.
I mean, there still are fights.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but obviously the consequences are a little higher, a little more now. You get expelled and all this other shit. It's getting me real quick, but they're quick to shoot first now.
Fact.
There's no fights anymore.
So
like if you get into a fight, out like even in the streets now, like people don't really want to fight. They'll shoot first.
Yeah, back in the day, maybe you pulled a knife or some shit, but it wasn't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. That's mentally weak.
That's not.
That is.
It might be smarter because now people are more.
How is that smarter? You get
People are
25 to
more trained.
life.
Can I talk? Can I tell my story?
It's a life.
Can I tell my story?
Go ahead.
So people nowadays are more fight trained. MMA, all those different types of fighting. If I'm not trained like that, this might be more beneficial and smarter to just shoot you.
No, I mean
You don't know.
That's the point.
But
You
that
don't
was
know.
back. People trained back then too. You act like MMA is new.
not as
I
much,
didn't
but
say
I
it,
mean,
but
but I'm
now
just
there
saying,
were a ton of people.
like if I was going to fight
Okay,
someone,
so it was a ton of people back then, but it's more now, correct? That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You don't know.
But you
You
can't
don't know.
just.
Who knows what?
But people are sensitive. Period. You can't say certain shit in school now.
That's your definition of sensitive, man. Because I say the
How?
older generation is more emotional too. They just think like, oh my God, certain emotions aren't emotions. If I get mad, that's not an emotion because I got mad quick. Now I'm tough.
No.
Anger is still an emotion. That means
Nobody
you're
said
emotional.
that.
But I'm saying like that's how the older generation acts.
No,
But
that's
just
what
because
you're
it's-
saying.
No, just
It's
because.
not.
Yes, it is. Because
No.
now, just because the younger generation is saying, oh, that hurt my feelings, or hey.